Hello, all. This week we'll be discussing the latest Edgar Wright movie, The Running Man, and we'll also be getting into some trailers and what we've been playing and watching. So stick around. Hello, all, and welcome to Middle Age Geeks. I'm one of your hosts, Phil, joined as always by my awesome co-host, Daz. Daz, what's the story?
I'm good, man. Good. Just out of our film this week about 2 hours ago, and dying to get stuck into it. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. We'll get to that shortly and find out. I missed the Ireland Portugal game for when I went to see it on Thursday, and then you missed today's game to go and see it. So we will find out in a while whether it was worth it. But we'll for anybody who's new, main part of the podcast is like discussion/review, mostly spoiler free with a few spoilers at the end. But before that, we're going to get into some news and then what we've been playing and watching. On the subject of news, Daz, what have you got for us this week? I can jump out at you.
Well, I think mainly the newest trailer, well, there's a few trailers. The Fallout Season 2 kind of extended trailer came out.
It's the best trailer I've seen this year.
Oh, it's fucking fantastic. It gives everything you want. It's exploring the lore a bit more. It's New Vegas, and that's probably one of the best Fallout games. More Walton Goggins, and it looks like it's exploring or going back into his, there's a lot more character development with him and the relationship he has with Lucy. And it's got fucking everything, and it just looks sensational.
Is that Macaulay Culkin in the trailer?
Yeah.
It's
Macaulay Culkin. But it just looks like there's just so much to it. And it's a testament to it that my wife, Ali, she saw the trailer. She's just gone she just can't believe how excited she is for the show. She's like, I just fucking love the show. I was like, you should play the game. Not a fucking chance. But it just looks sensational. Other news, there's another Avatar 3 trailer. Another one we don't need any more trailers. This, as you were saying, it does give away quite a lot. There's a lot in the trailer.
Well, I also didn't realize the movie was 3 hours and 15 minutes long.
When you see that, you're like, maybe there's fuck all in the trailer. 3 hours, 15 minutes. Like, Jesus Christ. So, yeah, but that it just looks fucking bananas to see it on the biggest screen you can. Looks fantastic. Also, the Super Mario Galaxy trailer arrived, which, more of the same. Ticks all the fucking boxes. We get Rosalina.
Loads of Mario Odyssey stuff in it.
Yeah, really. It just looks fantastic, and I just hope they build on it, build on the first Super Mario, and just add a bit more to the story. Give us a bit more than just ticking the boxes, nostalgia boxes. But, it looks superb. Then another bit of news: Francis Ford Coppola has officially said he's broke after Megalopolis, which was hilarious. Now, by broke, I don't think he's quite understands the word broke.
He was talking about selling an island or something to make some money. Boo, fucking who.
I had to sell my fucking island. He's had to sell a watch that he has for £1 million and a home he has for like £3 million. Like, right, okay. But it is like you say, he lost over 100 million on it, and still stands by it. I'm dying to check out the Mega Doc. Like, even that can't seem to get a theatrical release. The movie couldn't fucking get one. And the documentary about its downfall can't seem to get one. But like some of the scenes from that are hilarious with himself and Shia LaBeouf just like banging heads on set. And Shia being all like, I just want to understand, should I be standing here? And Francois Coppola obviously just sitting down just going, I'm 85 years of age, like, fuck off, you little twat. Why did I cast you in this movie? Looks like a lot of fun. And then the last one then for me is Sydney Sweeney's movie, Christie, the boxing one. That was one of the trailers that I meant to mention last week that looked decent enough, and like a female boxing movie or whatever, but it's gone down as it's had the 9th worst opening in cinematic history from a movie that has over 2,000 screens in America.
Well, reviewing quite well.
Yeah, everyone's going, it's really like getting 4 stars across the board, but it's an indie boxing movie about a female boxer no one's fucking has any idea about. And if The Rock can't get a movie about a wrestler that no one knows about, or a fighter, to make any money, then Sydney Sweeney is not going to do any better. But yeah, it's a shocking amount of money that for a movie that people expected to do decent things. But yeah, but apart from that, how about yourself?
A few bits. The Steam machine was announced. If you see that, the Valve Steam machine was announced. That looks cool. I'm interested to see whatever the price becomes, because from looking at the specs, it doesn't look as powerful as like a PlayStation 5. It looks around somewhere between that and the Xbox kind of thing. So I don't know. I'm interested to see the price part because of the power not being, it's around close enough to the PS5. You're going to have to come in, if you want to be competitive, you're going to have to come in probably lower than what a PS5 is at the moment. So it'd be interesting to see what exactly, and you're not, I know people will point to the Switch and say, oh, well, the Switch is like fucking nearly 500 quid. It's like, yeah, but it's not competing with them. Switch is a handheld device that you can dock into your television. This is supposed to be competing really with a plug and play, something you can just plug into your telly like a consoles. I think they need to be looking at around €400, for 100%. This. But,
and there's kind of, there's varying reports on that. Some people saying like you're saying that they have to come in around that price point, like especially like in America, the Xbox is just pricing itself out of everything anyway, so it's not really like they just keep increasing the price of a thing that nobody fucking wants. But people saying, yeah, it's got to be around the kind of $400 to $450 mark. Then people saying, well, but the Steam Deck, and I have a Steam Deck, and that was like about 500 quid for the middle tier, like 128 gigabyte version, and they're saying this is 6 times as powerful as a Steam Deck. So that other people were saying like it could be up there around the like 1,000 to 1,200 mark. I'm just going. Then who is it for? Because I don't know why I would buy if it's not as powerful as a PlayStation. Why would I? Maybe it's not for me, but why would I buy it when I already have a Steam Deck and I can play for the games that like I can't get on consoles? And there's very few these days. But you'll see something that reviews very well, and if it's on Steam, I'll kind of go, okay, I'll grab it for the Steam Deck and I'll play it for like 10 minutes, and then go back to the Switch or something. But like, it looks fucking cool. It's like half size of an Xbox, and the best thing is the interchangeable front. That's my favorite part. They released they said they're going to release the specs for that to 3D print it, so people could actually just make their own different colors and shit. And it's like, remember when games consoles, when you could fucking customize them? That was so fucking cool.
Yeah, but I'm not paying 1,200 quid just because you customize the fucking thing. I mean, at that point, just build your own PC. You know what I mean? It's wild.
But it's interesting that they've done it with the VR glasses as well.
Yeah.
Because that must be like, people are speculating this must be something to do with, maybe they're going to tie it in with Half-Life 3. That's like after Half-Life Alyx came out in VR, that maybe there's a reason they have new VR glasses to tie with this machine. So it'd be interesting, what happens with it.
It'd be funny if Half-Life 3 came out before fucking GTA, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking knew that. Knew it was going to be delayed. I called 2027. We'll see. So yeah, just a couple of quick bits. Alien Earth got renewed for season 2. We'll see how he goes with the second season. Did you finish that? I did. I watched it all. Yeah, it's fine. It's like you watch it all as a whole. It's fine. It's just I'm just not a fan of that dynamic of those super advanced, because as you go on, you see them be even more advanced.
Okay,
and so it's just if this is set in the period that it is, then a lot of the stuff that comes after doesn't really make any sense. But anyway, So I'm not sure if this is new news, but there's a V for Vendetta TV series is going to be on, and HBO are making it. Yeah. So that's be quite. That's like great. That graphic novel is great, and the movie is fantastic. It's one of my favorite comic book movies. And then so this is one last bit of news is that so Thunder Road Pictures are set with Rennie Harlin, my favorite terrible movie director. I just love his terrible movies. So he's teaming up with Aaron Eckhart to do a movie called Trial by Combat. So it's set it's set in the near future where there's something called judicial combat. So like it's basically that's become like practice, and like there's legal trials settled by gladiatorial combat between like their champions. I suppose you can consider fucking Running Man, these kind of champions that you have, and a system that rewards corruption and punishes the innocent. And like it's just gas. You just think like this, is it like a little old lady going in for like a load of parking fines? It's like, right, you're in fucking fighting Smasher McGee or something to some big fucking 7-foot monster. It just sounds absolutely bananas. I can't wait to see that. But that's all for me on the news front. So let's jump over to what we've been playing and watching. Anything new from you this week, Daz, playing and watching wise?
Yeah, well, watching just Pluribus episode 3, and the show just gets better and better. I just fucking love this. I mean, I love that it's not episodic, that it's every week. But I would drop everything and turn down work to just binge this in one fucking day. I can't wait to see where it goes. There's just so many questions. And Rhea is she just gets better with every episode. It makes me want to go back, because I watched Better Call Saul. I think I watched season 1, and that happens when you watch a season of something, and I remember going, oh geez, that was amazing. I never watched it again, and I'm just like, why? But yeah, she's sensational. I just love that show. I love everything about it. The premise, it's the acting, the writing, cinematography, the budget that he's been given to do what he wants to do is just glorious. Some amazing shots, and just shots of an empty fucking supermarket. You're just going, it's just set design.
That coordination in that set, because when they're filling it up,
sequence,
they're all coming off the trucks, and they're all just interweaving. It has to be. It's like that video of the AI cars and AI controlled cars, and they're all just interweaving. That must take fucking ages. Somebody bumped into somebody.
So fucked up the entire shot.
That whole sequence is just fucking brilliant.
That's just fantastic. I haven't really watched anything else, but I was on a shoot recently, and a few people doubled down on The Pit, saying that it is incredibly well made and stressful and all this, and the fact that it's a real hour and stuff. So I'm going to give that a go for next week's show.
Oh, sweet.
Try and do that. Playing wise, I've been playing this game called Keeper that I heard on a podcast, and somebody said, if you want to get the best out of this, don't listen to even our non-spoiler talk about the game. Just go and play it. It was on IGM, so I just paused it and said, right, I'll just fucking give it a go. They said it's just wild and it's just mad, and it's probably the most bonkers game I've ever played in my life, and especially not knowing anything about it. I didn't even know the character, who you were playing, what the story was, but I knew it was 4 hours long. So that obviously piqued my interest, and said, I'll give it a go over an evening. And you play as a sentient lighthouse that has kind of crab legs that's kind of falling apart. And there's a weird, trippy kind of seagull that accompanies you, and you use the light from the lighthouse, your head, to kind of solve puzzles, and you traverse the world, and it just gets madder. Like the art design for this could and hopefully will win every award for art design. There's always a game that comes along and you're just going, fucking hell, that is just masterful. It's kind of Alice in Wonderland-esque, kind of weird, and it's weird, and you're kind of like so many points when you're playing, and it's not very taxing in terms of the puzzles. They're interesting puzzles, but it's more about the experience of traversing this mad land. But you get to a point, I remember sending you like a couple of screenshots and videos of it, and you're just going, this is mental, and then it just gets more mental. And this, I don't want to talk any more about it. It's just wonderful. 4 hours, and just at the end of it, it's just gone. It's just a delight. So definitely Keeper, check that out. It's right up your street, Phil. You'd fucking love it.
Yeah.
And in preparation for Metro Prime 4, and because you reminded me that I had your copy of this game, Metroid Prime Remastered, which I've probably had for about 2 years now, which never played. I started playing that just to give it a go, because I'd never played the remaster, and sucked into it. And you don't need to say anything about that game. It's amazing. But fucking quality of life issues with that game that gets to a point where the autosave, the lack of autosave just throws you back 30 minutes. And you're just like, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. You're just like, fuck this. If I don't have another go now, I'll never play this game again. So yeah, I got 3/4 of the way through it, and I was getting to the point I really love in the game, and I was just like, just fuck this. But I've heard from people online who have played Metro Prime 4 say that that's not an issue in the new game. They said it's like the quality of life is fantastic in it. That's what I've been playing, pretty much. More playing than watching. What about yourself?
What have I been playing, watching? I've been watching nothing massively new like yourself, just Pluribus, Welcome to Derry. But I have been finally started to watch Succession, so I'm halfway through season 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Season 3 already? Wow, I love that.
Yeah, I'm plowing through it. Like, it's just so good. Everybody's just incredible in it. Like, it's just one of those ones for some reason I just kept putting off, but I'm flying into it. And then gaming wise, I haven't got into Yota. I don't think I'm just not in the frames of mind for something that isn't all action. So I finally got around to playing RoboCop. I just got downloaded that and said, fuck, I'll just play that. So yeah, I've just been I just started
It's
that
fucking great,
yesterday,
isn't it?
so I've just been just wandering around blowing people's heads off. Yeah, it's great when you can up the kind of things that allow you to get more blood splatter. I'm like, yeah, I'll have that, please. Just some great kills. And I kind of skip past a lot of the story. I find the character models really bad. There's like
it is still
almost
kind of
delays.
glitchy. Every time it cuts to a new scene, it kind of glitches at the start of the shot.
Yeah,
for me. I was just like, how the fuck did you not fix that?
Yeah, like a lot of it, I'll just skip past them talking and just go to the reading part. I'm just fuck off. I'm just not listening to you. But no, that's cool. Yeah. Apart from that, man, fuck all new. So look, with that stuff out of the way, let's get on to the main event, which is this week's movie, The Running Man. So Daz, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Super duper, yeah, The Running Man 2025, directed by Edgar Wright. It's less a remake of the 1987 Arnie movie and more of a faithful-ish adaptation of the Stephen King novel from 1982. It's also written by Edgar Wright and Michael Bacall, who worked with him on Scott Pilgrim. It stars Glenn Powell, Josh Brolin, Coleman Domingo, Michael Cera, William H. Macy. The basic synopsis, which is, in the near future society, The Running Man is a top-rated television show, a deadly competition where contestants, known as runners, must survive for 30 days being hunted by assassins. And Glenn Powell plays Ben Richards, working class guy down his luck, who's trying to save his sick daughter, reluctantly takes part in this game show, and his defiance, instincts and grit turn him into an unexpected fan favorite and a threat to the entire system. That's what Wikipedia has to say about it. So yeah, before we go into spoilers, we'll go through the movie in a non-spoiler fashion. Philly, what were your thoughts coming out of this one? Because we were both excited for this one.
Yeah, this might be the least Edgar Wright movie I've seen. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. But I was expecting a lot more. Like if it wasn't for the music, I'd be like, I don't see Edgar Wright in this at all. Some of the music choices are fucking brilliant, and there is some bits of humor. Most of them are in the trailer. But it's just, it doesn't feel like an Edgar Wright movie. It doesn't have that kind of quirkiness. I didn't think it was shot particularly interestingly. Like there is, don't get me wrong, there is some great shots, and I like some of the sets, but just. Yeah, like it was fun because there's some great action. I think Glenn Powell is absolutely wonderful. He's just become one of my absolute favorites at the moment. I think he's brilliant. He's great. I thought Coleman Domingo was great as well. It's just, there's some parts of it that are super rushed as well, especially towards the end. There's parts that are just that really in the book is take a lot longer. Like it does look great. I haven't got any issue really with the effects. It looks great. The especially this this going from the slums into the city and the whole idea of it. I just feel like if you're gonna go into that kind of the satire stuff, or you really want like a Paul Verhoeven or someone doing it, like you wanted to have that kind of person to really satirize how ridiculous it is to have these type of game shows where people are actually dying every week on them, and to go to but this just plays it far. It doesn't have that satirical edge to it that it needs to have for me. What about yourself?
Just 100% echo everything like that. The first thing that it reminded me is of like the RoboCop remake and the Total Recall remake that are just remade and weren't bad films. They weren't great, but the main thing that was missing, that they just didn't get the memo of why these movies worked in the first place, and to bring them into a modern world. I think it's just really difficult to manage that satirical edge to it. Like, is it serious? Is it not? Is it kind of wacky? Is it not? And we've talked about some movies that can just manage and massage that tone into different scenes, like One Battle After Another, which the tone could be fucking wildly all over the place from 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there. It could be different movies, but it just works because the director because maybe it's an original concept or something, it just works. Where here, tonally, it's just a little bit all over the place. It's like it's trying to be a little bit wacky at points, but I think not in the right way, or the satire is not really there, or the script thinks it is and it's just not enough, or is it serious? It kind of was all over the place for me in that. But coming out of it, I was just like, it's fine. Like it's good. I had fun the first two acts. I think the first maybe hour and 15 minutes I thought were really interesting, really good. I was there. I was just going, this is great. Look good. Glenn Powell he's the real deal. Like he's an action superstar. He's got everything. He can play. Like we get into it more, but he has that rugged charm where he can be the kind of father who looks after his daughter and caring, but he also could be the unhinged guy that beats his fucking snot out of you. But I think it's about 30 minutes too long. And the last act, I think it just fucking falls apart to the point where he just meets a woman in this movie, and you'll know when you see it. And after that, you're just going, what?
Like all of that's in the book, but it's just, but it makes much more sense. Though.
Yeah, it just kind of got a bit too convoluted for its own good, and it didn't build up to that in a satisfying way. And the end just felt a bit all kind of rushed and a bit kind of messy. But it's strange because I think everything is here for it to be a great movie. It's got that whole the first half an hour to hour. It is really, really good. I thought it was really, really good. I thought it looked fantastic in terms of the city and everything. But yeah, it's. Let's start where we start. We start with Glenn Powell. He's, as I said, he's just the real fucking deal. I think he's a perfect fit for that. I don't think dialogue, it doesn't really work. He does his best with some of the lines he's given. Some of the humor just does not work, but that's not him. I think that's just the kind of script didn't really work that well. But he is, I thought he was just, you could watch him all day long. He's just like fucking new Tom Cruise that's not a lunatic. Yeah, but yeah. You were a big fan?
Yeah, I really was. Yeah, I thought he was great. That it is quite close. A lot of it's very close to Stephen King's book. He plays that. You see, he is the good guy. The reason that he's down on his luck and stuff is because he's kind of gotten blacklisted for trying to point out safety regulations and stopping his co-workers from getting killed. But which is whereas the company, everybody's expendable. So he didn't. Although he's a bit of a hothead, he's always. He's the hothead with a heart of gold kind of thing. And it's all for him. It's just all about his family. And you really see those moments are great between him and his wife and kid. I would like to see actually a bit more of that. And I find he hits a lot of the comedy beats when he does hit them. It is like he has great physical presence. A lot of it is great because it's a lot of panicked running from people who are chasing to kill you. And some of that stuff is great. Like the stuff with him and Michael Cera in the house. I laughed out loud at the two of them and that. I thought Michael Cera was fucking brilliant. But it's so, it just feels so by the numbers or something, whereas the premise is so out there, it's begging to be satirized, and the future of this thing is begging to be satirized. And that was the only bummer about it. But I thought he was great. I thought there's no one really I didn't really enjoy. I guess it's always great to see what's his face, Lee Pace in something. Yeah, so he's great. It's the cast in general. I don't really have any issues apart from that woman he meets. I think that she just is given fuck all really to do. Her arc it happens so quickly, and it's just it's bizarre. It is. Yeah, I mean that whole, we'll talk about it in the spoiler section. I don't want to spoil the book or the movie for anybody. But no, I didn't really have an issue with anybody's performances. I thought they all did quite well. Was there anybody who jumped off the screen at you a bit more, as much as Glenn Powell?
Yeah, I wish there was more Coleman Domingo. I thought he fucking ate up the screen, as he does in everything. But he was very, very obviously, for me, the highlight. I just wanted more of him. I wanted more of the kind of game show aspect of it. And we'll get into that in kind of script. But Josh Brolin is, not that he's phoning it in, but this is just, he plays this in his fucking sleep. And he's like the kind of great smarmy business fucking shithead. But he's having a laugh, and the role is perfect for him. And it's
not a super complicated role either. For anybody, I don't think. You're just being the dickhead head of a major corporation who just all you're thinking about is the ratings and what will get the best rating. It's not a very complex role. But I thought he did fine with it.
Yeah, he's great. Michael Cera is, I just fucking love that guy. He's fucking brilliant. I wish they didn't showcase pretty much almost every fucking action beat of that scene in the trailer. Everything, all of it. Just keep one of the things that he does when he booby traps his house. And William H. Macy, where have you been? Just love that man. But it's just great to see him in it, even if it's in such a small role. But yeah, and that girl, I can't remember the girl's name, Amelia something, that we have a problem with. Like she, in the movie, she has, and we'll get into it, she's really good, really good. She's got great scenes, great moments. Acting wise, she's fucking phenomenal. But it's it's just, that just signals the moment where it just all fell apart for me. I just lost kind of interest. I only saw it like 2 hours ago, and even in the spoiler section, I'm going to forget a lot that happened because it's just kind of going, what? You've just lost me. So yeah, let's get into screenplay then. I just thought it started so well, as we said, like everything is there. Everyone's on board for this kind of premise. It's simplistic setup, but it works. It's like the, down as luck, working class guy, family guy, needs to save his family, reluctantly takes part in this crazy fucking game. And because I hadn't read the book, I was intrigued to see how it would go, because the trailer, like a lot of people that I spoke to that saw the trailer, and when we were talking about it as well, that hadn't seen the book, they were just like, oh, they've expanded it because if their reference was a 1987 film that just takes place in an arena, it's just like the possibilities when you're just like, oh my God, when you're out in the world and anyone who sees you can get a reward if they report you, or they can try and kill you themselves. That was just like, Jesus, that's a big fucking movie, like in terms of action sequences and set pieces. But yeah, I don't think that kind of worked as well as I expected it to. I don't think that the world was utilized as good as it could be in terms of his interaction or the sense of danger. My whole thing during this movie, when he was running around doing his disguise, just like, why is he not wearing a beard? He has a little moustache, just like, put a fucking beard on and a hat, you won't look like Glenn Powell. But yeah, I just thought there's a lot of kind of convenience in terms of things that are happening to him. Last act is a kind of suspension of disbelief. There's a suspension of disbelief anyway in the movie, but towards the last act, you're like, really? But the setup I thought was great. Like, I loved the world. I thought it looked fucking fantastic, which we'll get into. But what do you think about the script, the whole setup of it?
Yeah. Like I said, again, very close to the book, but the book makes it more interesting with regards to his journey, because, as you said, the first one is, it's absolutely bananas that the character is completely different. He's framed, basically. Arnold Schwarzenegger is framed for opening fire on a bunch of civilians, and that's how he ends up in the games. And like you said, it's all takes place in the one place. But here he's going to Boston, he's going to these other places. You're like, well, surely there's ways you could, where places to disappear, like right out in the middle of nowhere. Whereas he doesn't seem to manage to be on his own for that long without them tracking him down. And when they do utilize these spaces, as nice as they are, whether it's that kind of shitty apartment that he's in, or under the story, the basement, the basement level, all that stuff again is in the book. But it's when he's there, like, some of that stuff looks fantastic, but it's just each time it's the only place he's in that's actually nice is the hotel that he checks into. Apart from that, most of the places, they're quite similar looking. They're just run down buildings, just like something out of The Crow or Dark City or something. It's I don't know. I didn't, as well as the sets were, I didn't find that to be particularly interesting. Isn't, like, has he changed city? Because it looks pretty much the same kind of place. I
was expecting just the craziness of that premise, that if you are trying to escape one of the hunters and just trying to hide in plain sight, where maybe you just crowded street or something, and just see something take place. Obviously, budget wise, I mean, the budget was 110 million. I think at times it looks like it costs more in terms of the cinematography and the set. Like, when he's just walking around, and the set extensions and the CGI of the city are fucking seamless. Like, it looks fantastic. But like, the action set pieces they're decent. There's no standout stuff, but I think a lot of the time, because they are taking place in a set somewhere, which is all well and good, I was a little bit disappointed in the whole him being in the world and the world being able to track him down. It seemed that he was just escaping 5 hunters in a hotel or in another fucking abandoned house or something like that, and it just wasn't.
Not nearly enough of the public. We're trying to track him down. Like, if you're going place to place, like, this is, if so many people are as bad off as Ben Richards is, then the chance of getting a few grand for a sighting, a previous sighting or whatever it is, 100 grand for it was something that leads to a kill, all this kind of stuff, then, like, I would be fucking out the whole day, fucking scoping out ratting on my neighbours, everything. Everybody will be after him. Whereas there's only a couple of people that kind of point him out, but majority of people are on his side. Whereas if you watch the audience, they're all screaming, "Oh, that fucking scumbag!" Yeah. They're all booing him because they alter what he says to make it sound like he's this horrible, mean bastard, and they all want him to die. But it just doesn't seem like there's enough in the real world anybody actually trying to find him or talking about him. Like in the book, I think he's on his own, whereas in this movie, there's three runners that go out together. Similar to the movie, similar to the original movie.
To them in spoilers, they are the dumbest fucking people known to man.
Exactly. Like, I mean, these know that this is, you're probably get out there, run for your life, and not really like anybody who's with them. They're in a very public places. Any single person that's with them could bump them off or grab them, lock them up, and have enough set themselves up for life. It just doesn't track, which is kind of a bummer. And I think that this is one where when you talked about Coleman Domingo, one thing that made his thing interesting in the first. That character interesting in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie was they interacted with the crowd. They made it so that part was satirical. They made it real, like old grannies were on and they were winning, Running Man, the board game, and all this kind of winning prizes and stuff. And it was like the fucking Late Show with Gay Byrne. You know what I mean? Like, it's look under your seats. There's one for everybody. And that kind of thing. Like that would have been way more interesting. But Coleman Domingo might as well have been talking to just there might as well be no crowd there. You might as well just be talking to a camera, and that's it. Which is kind of I think you missed a trick there to kind of add in how normal this is in real life.
A key thing with Coleman Domingo in this is when he gets to I was wondering what is the catchphrase going to be, because in the fucking 87 movie it's like, it's time to start running, and it's fucking brilliant. And it's like, and then this epitomizes the whole movie for me, where he just goes, okay, ready, steady, run, and you're like, oh, fuck's sake. That's where it is. It's fine, but you're just missing a trick there. It just doesn't have that, not so much gravitas, but just that fucking wacky, absurd, satirical nature that the 87 movie just fucking nailed. And that's, I think they're trying for it here. Even if they said, no, they're not really going for that vibe, they're shooting it and acting it like they are. And it's just not.
And maybe they're not. And that's what I think a lot of people listening to this might say, well, look, you're crying out saying it wasn't satirical enough. Maybe they weren't going for satire. And maybe they weren't. The problem is this movie would have been so much better if it was, because if you're just going play by the numbers action movie, well, then don't have the subject matter so absolutely outrageous. It's begging for that. It's begging for that satirization. I think that's maybe what's annoying about it, that they just didn't go that direction. But like you said, there is, with their performances, Coleman Domingo and the what's it called, Josh Brolin talking about their, it's all about the viewers. It's all about
the ratings.
Ratings. It's all about letting the runner get to a certain point before he actually gets bumped off. It's all about whatever gets. It's all check the metrics and all these kind of things that will boost up viewership, because that's all that matters, not the human lives that are at stake. But that's such an insanely ridiculous premise. Like, this is far removed from fucking I'm a celebrity, get me out of the fucking jungle, whatever. Like this is it's so out there that, and their performances are like that. It's super over the top, especially Coleman Domingo. So to go that way, but then not show how ridiculous that is. I think you're just missing a beat.
Because they still have kind of montages of people that have gotten killed on the show, and it's very much call back to the original movie and RoboCop and movies of that ilk in the 80s.
Starship Troopers in the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's just kind of violent and over the top violent, and the fact that violence is shown on TV and game shows are watching that violence, like that's not a serious premise. That is a kind of wacky future, because it's not that crazy. A future that when you were in 1987 looking at it just going, that's fucking wild. There are moments in this where, when they're doctoring videotapes and making him say things that he didn't say, where you're kind of like, it's not shocking at all, because that's happening on Instagram anyway, fucking YouTube. That's where we live in. But it's clever that they don't give the year, because I think you can't give the year, because some of it seems very near future and some of it seems wildly abstract future. Let's talk about the music. Some of these moments where the music kind of kicks in, they are the most Edgar Wright parts of this, I would say.
Yeah.
Bar, I think there's two whip pans of the camera in the movie, and that those two moments and the music are the Edgar Wright kind of stamp that we were kind of expecting.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I'd probably listen to the soundtrack of this one, not just the soundtrack, but the score itself as well. I thought there's some really good action stuff in this, and it's they tie in so well with the scenes, and there's some great kind of funk and stuff that's brought which is brought into it, which is great. I thought it was a real fun, upbeat soundtrack, something you come from expecting if you've fucking watched Baby Driver or anything else that he's done.
Absolutely.
He's whoever he has on with him that helps him choose the music. I don't know if he uses the same composer in all his movies or not, but I thought that was the one thing for me that really landed. And I think had you taken that away and just put in something, had someone else do the score, I would. And then you told me this was an Edgar Wright movie, I'd be like, there's nothing here that's telling me that this is an Edgar Wright movie at all. Yeah.
And that's kind of the maddest thing about this movie is for about 90% of it could have been directed by anyone else, any other very competent director. And that's my main kind of issue with it. That's not really an issue. It's a strange thing because his style kind of lends itself to more kind of maybe non-linear movies where you can just whip pan the camera to, 2 days ago or a different scene or whatever. And it's just kind of a bit wacky like that, where here I think he's trying to do a bit more of a linear timeline, linear plot, and a bit more of a quote unquote serious movie. And it works for the most part. I mean, the score, I think, especially in the action sequences, is great. And Edgar Wright probably doesn't get enough credit for his ability to direct an action scene. I mean, I don't think there were standout stuff in this movie, but they're still just really enjoyable to watch. Like, he knows his way around just action set pieces and putting a decent score to that, and decent music. So yeah, then do you want to give it a star rating before we get into spoilers?
Yeah. Like I don't know, I was somewhere teetering between 3 and 3.5 because like it was overall enjoyable. I think maybe I'm just disappointed. I was expecting The Running Man with an Edgar Wright stamp on it, that would just make it that much more quirky and enjoyable. Like, even if it didn't go down the satire route, even having his kind of stamp and style on it would have made it more enjoyable. But it just feels so by the numbers. It's like someone just got the Stephen King book and said, right, let's just make this almost exactly. And it's a serious, and the book is a serious book. So yeah, I don't know. I'm somewhere between 3.5. Maybe once we go through the spoilers and have more of a chat about it, I might land on something, but that's where I am.
Yeah, 3 for me, because it's not a bad movie. It's not a great movie. I think it's a good movie. You come out kind of going, that was fine. And I think the disappointments and my issues with the third act, I think the general moviegoer would just really enjoy this. It'd be kind of like, that was great. Although I did hear 4 or 5 people coming out of movie earlier on that were just like, that was shite. One guy with his 2 daughters just like, that was fucking shit. And they were like, oh, that was cool. He was just like, that was shit. But yeah, I think it's too long. If it was 90 minutes or thereabouts, maybe 100 minutes, if we just got to the point a bit quicker and cut the fat a bit. I mean, I think adding as much as you can and from the book and being as faithful as you can to the book doesn't really work in this regard, which is a shame because everything is there for it to be 4-star movie, but it just it just doesn't come together. But yeah, let's get into spoilers then. It's just when the girl arrives in the car. And I'm just kind of going, why is this happening? Because I was already on the fence with Michael Cera's character, because I just love him. But, you do get to a point, you're like, what's the point of this? Is this a point to just have this set piece and a bit of crack between these 2 guys who are great actors? But then you're kind of going, the trailers showed pretty much 90% of this, bar his mother in that sequence. So it's just like, what's the point of that? Has this added anything to the movie for me? And then 10 minutes later he's in a car with a woman, and it's just like, where are we going here? It's just like, it just starts to just sidetrack completely. And for me, like, I think I read half the book back in the day, but I didn't know where the fuck this was going. Was it easier, more palatable to you?
I think it was kind of more annoying because when he meets Amelia, the character is the same name in the book. Like they spend way more time together. They build up a relationship where it starts off, yes, he's seen as this brutish monster that she's seen on television, and he's done this, that, and the other. And as they go through, the relationship starts to build. The television or the company, or whatever you want to call them, they do try to take, attack her when the cameras aren't there, trying to take them both out and stuff. And she starts to gradually more and more trust him. Whereas in this, it's over the space of like 5-10 minutes. She's fucking on straight away on his side, like, oh, I need to prove now that I'm not the stuck up bitch that you think I am. And it's like, but this takes a good while. She has a chance to escape and decides to stay in the car when it's in the book. But there's
it's a different movie.
They have to really build up the relationship between the two of them. Whereas their relationship builds from like fucking nothing to like fucking best buddies when they get on the plane where she's totally on his fucking side. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they die for each other. Like he fucking, and it is way too short a time spent. And if you're gonna spend that little time, just don't have her in it. Just change how he gets to the plane. At the end, just change that to a different way of how he gets it. The plane's in the book, but he dies. The plane, he gives a parachute he flies into the building. He gives her the parachute, same as in this one, and she bails out and he dies. Whereas in this, obviously, he lives. But like, I did get that point really bothered me because they flew through it. It's like, oh shit, it's almost like, oh shit, we need to have her in, don't we? But look, there's 10 minutes here we can squeeze in, and that'll be their fucking 10 minutes together, and all of a sudden they're busy mates. Yeah, that part didn't work.
Is there a case of just getting to that part quicker in the movie and somehow just I don't know, because there is a shift in terms of the plot and what's happening, and it kind of ties in with her. But like I enjoyed, like, she has a fantastic fucking just meltdown rant at him and screaming at him, just going, you are just sensational. But like and I was like, I can't wait to see where this goes, because we've only got about fucking 30 minutes left. It just doesn't work. It's too rushed. It's not. Yeah, you just don't buy it at all. And the fact that when he's getting on the plane and sneaking in like her handbag and it's a bomb, it's like, fucking really?
That's in the book.
That's your plan,
because that's because I think of this Black Irish, this bomb. It's so potent and so thing that everybody, the minute someone says it, leaving the book, people are like, "Whoa, okay, you can't even take the risk that he might be telling the truth because it's so potent it could fucking level a few blocks, And but again, he just got the idea because he saw it earlier on in William H. Macy's bunker, and then he brings it up. Like you said, they kind of scan it, and the thing is that we get the giveaway because we see him getting scanned when he goes on. So even if you haven't read the book, we know straight away that the company knows. You know what I mean? Like, we're not waiting to find out, they obviously still think he has a bomb. We know straight away. If they've scanned them when they're gotten, then obviously he fucking doesn't have anything. So we know they know that he doesn't have anything. So there's not really much stakes there.
But it just throws so much. It just throws so much at you with the fucking Hunter McCone or whatever his name is, main hunter, or like Lee Pace, just fucking fantastic. But even him, it's rushed through. It's just like, oh, he finally gets a moment, and it's like, oh, he was the guy that got the 29 days and got the offer and all this stuff, and hints at stuff with his family, and just going, oh, but it's just, oh, there you have it. There's 40 seconds, and that's your fucking little moment to shine. Just going, it's just. And then it's on to the next thing, and it just keeps going, keeps hitting you with stuff. And again, all of it is not, you're not going, that's terrible, that's shit, or whatever. It's just too much. It's too quick, all thrown at you in 40 minutes. And as it's like individual bits, like if you talk about if you expanded all these little bits and chatted for 2 hours about it, you'd be like, that's really interesting. Like, it is really interesting the way the game show goes and the way they're actually killing people to keep them alive and stuff. And that's really interesting, like, on paper and in a book, but when you're watching it, it turns stuff that is interesting into just like, oh, this is just a mess. While I was watching it, just going, it's just too much. None of this is hitting because you're just throwing all the fucking stuff at the wall, and it's all sticking, but it's just too long. There's too much for the runtime that's already bloated.
Yeah,
which is
I agree. Yeah, I know, I couldn't agree more, and I think like, as I said, the two other characters, and that part kind of satirical, where they have the two of them, they show, oh, we picked them this way. We always pick a guy who's going to be like the final dude who's going to make it. We one who's an absolute loose cannon, and one is a moron, because we want the audience to see someone getting killed very quickly to keep them interested. Yeah. And so that's why they picked, the dopey dude who just fucking, he's pretty much telling your one in the store that he's talking to that he's on the fucking show. He walks out, gets killed straight away, and then she's out. But she's out in like whatever, like casino or something. She's just surrounded by people,
and a casino, and
Yeah, and there's all, and yeah, you go fair enough
stupid.
for the for show wise. You go okay, fair enough. The killers let it go on longer than it should because they want to keep people engaged. They want everybody to die off too early, and that's fine. But your general public, they're all partying with her. You're telling me there's not one cunt in there is going, you know, man, I can make my nut here and just fucking rat this bitch out. Like, but none of that is there. I think it's just incongruent. Like, if you're going to say that it's that you're against it's a whole city chasing you, when really it's not. Really,
Show
it's
some
just
of that.
goons.
Show
and,
some of that.
Yeah, and what I would have liked was maybe to make and this is where the 82 movie got it right, is to make those guys, besides McCollum, like the other guys, make them a little more interesting. Like they went over the top in the 80s one with Domino, the guy fucking electricity, and like they were nuts. But yeah, maybe make them a little more interesting than, because he really is the only standout hunter. The rest of them are just like
throwaway.
Yeah, they're so throwaway. It was still, enjoyable enough watch. Like until we hit that last act, I thought the pacing was pretty fine. I didn't have any issues with it. Performance is grand, music good, effects good. Like, there's a lot there that it's just a competent, mostly competent action movie for something where you're right. This amount of money put into it, this amount of big stars in it. I definitely was expecting a lot more.
Yeah, no, like it just especially the city aspect, like with those two. His two kind of people on his team that die. Obviously, the guy is the idiot and gets killed, so you get to see a kill on screen. But I thought they just missed a trick, or even a proper extended montage or something showing the chaos of actually the city turning on you, and that'd just be fucking terrifying. Like just trying to escape,
or them beating the shit out of each other. Beating the shit out of each other because they're like, no, I want to be the one to rat him out. I want to be the one to catch him fighting over each other's camera phones or whatever the fuck they have. Like.
Yeah, 100%. They missed a trick with that. But yeah, it's like, I think we've been talking a lot about the stuff that we didn't like, but I think it's more just because we were expecting more. It's more disappointment than I'm saying the movie's bad. I'm just disappointed that it's not better, because it's still a good movie, but it's very much the lower end of Edgar's filmography for me, which is strange. It's disappointing because everything's there for it to be a really, really, really great movie. It is just good. So yeah, that's the end of our review. We could talk for an hour or two, but that's the end of our review.
I think I'd probably after all the chat at this point, I'd probably level it at 3 as well, Daz. I think we're in sync with this one. So yeah, thanks to everyone as always. We're coming towards our last few episodes before Christmas. So we'll obviously have one that's going to be dedicated to our end of season wrap up. But we've got a few other weeks jumping in there. There's a few decent movies out that I wouldn't mind covering. I definitely would like to do Five Nights at Freddy's. Just that's 6th of December or something like that. I think it is. It's so that could be an interesting one to do. But we've only got a few weeks left of movies out, so we will have to cut some that we would like to normally do and cut them out. But it'll be an interesting few weeks. But yeah, for all of you at home, keep on liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. We really appreciate you joining us each week and giving us your feedback. So take care of each other, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.